We're often taught to care for our skin from the outside in. Products, treatments, serums, devices, and promises of younger looking skin are everywhere. But what if the health and appearance of our face is much more than what we put on it? Today's conversation explores the connection between our face, fascia, nervous system, and overall well-being. Because our face carries more than just expression. It can reflect stress, tension, habits, emotions, and the stories of how we move through the world. Joining me today is Olga Newman, founder of FACEUP. Olga's work goes beyond traditional skincare and looks at the relationship between facial muscles, fascia, posture, tension patterns, and healthy aging. This is a conversation about understanding the face as a part of a much bigger picture, one that includes how we feel, how we move, how we age, and ultimately, how we reconnect with ourselves. Olga, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here today to talk about all things fascia and tension release and jaw release and all your wisdom can offer today.
Thank you so much for your beautiful invitation. And it's a great pleasure to be enjoying your another beautiful and full of the wisdom talk. And I'm happy to share what I have.
Wonderful. So I'd love to start with your story, your personal story. What led you to create FACEUP and what sits at the heart of your philosophy?
So my personal journey actually led me into what I'm doing right now because my background, I'm engineer in my degree and I worked as project manager, development manager, but I always had a very busy, stressful events and life and top management position roles. And then I'm stepped into the motherhood. And this is another life. And it's
Yeah.
another life, I think, for everyone who experience it. And I became mom originally from Russia. And in Russia, when you are in 20s, this is where culturally you're supposed to become a mom. But I became a mom in my 30, 34, and it was the shock to my system. It was like overwhelmed. I'm like, why now little creature control my life?
Yes. And you swear it will never control your life. You're like, no, my life is going to carry on
Yes,
exactly the
yeah,
same.
and suddenly you cannot go to the bathroom, and yeah, but probably it's like when you first time. With the second, I was much more confident and manageable. But now, when I look backwards, I can see even in my 20s what the stress and changes in my posture, how they reflected to my appearance. But also, I was thinking in this stage that it's probably my genes. And I was talking with my mom, and for example, all my family women line, we had very like droopy eyelids. And he realized like mom was like, no, it's just a genes. So it's like, okay, it's genes. That's it. So we're not really educated what is happening in our body. And appearances is just like showing up what is happening inside. And so when I became mom, we changed the country, we moved. So it's like double stress. I never was very confident, to be honest, but I started avoided all the mirrors. I didn't want it to be on the camera, even for the family pictures. I didn't feel confident at all. I started to use a foundation to cover my skin. And my husband always was laughing at me, like, why your face is different from your neck color? And I'm just like, don't look at that. And basically, to be honest, it started with my own appearance, but appearance, yes, but it also was the disconnection. What I started to have became a mom because you are start to be such a giver. We from the nature giving a lot. It's a nature for women. This is how we designed, and becoming a mom and double, triple sometimes. Like I have some students who had 5, 6 kids. I don't know how they manage their life, to be honest.
Yeah.
And running the
Three's a
business.
lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And I also had an intuition that all the skin treatments, like the classical facials, I never honestly been a big fan because like, what's the point? It didn't click in my head. And the quick fixes, I just had a gut feeling that is not the things what I want to do. I found some YouTube videos and I started to do some self-practice, lock my bathroom for 10 minutes. Everyone survived. My husband survived. My son survived. But this was the moment where I was connected with myself. So like I actually was touching myself. And touch is very powerful. So touch is the first sense what we developed inside the mother womb. And even self-touch is very healing as well. But to be honest, we are not really touch ourselves properly.
No, because if you think about it, the routine of putting your face serums on and your moisturizers, most people are like, okay, just it's like a slap, dash, boom, out the door, bit of lip gloss and you're gone. But most people don't take the time for that self-massage. We'll go to someone and we'll pay someone for like, you know, a back massage or see a physio or whatever, but we don't actually do a lot with ourselves.
So because the touch, it can be very different. It can be touch with love and care, or it can be touch, oh, I'm just like, will do something. I'm not really like myself and I'm just whatever. Or it can be touch with fear, because I treated a lot of cancer clients survived after the cancer. And this is basically it is somatic disease most of the time. For example, if they had cancer somewhere, like, you know, breast cancer, something around the neck, and they developed such a strong feeling of like, oh my God, if I will touch and if I will again feel something, what is again something wrong with me? And they developed, so their body started to protect this part of the body. And because they never touched it with love, with the warmth, but just, oh my God, if something is happening again. And body react somatically to this touch and develop
So
tension and stagnation.
so what you're saying is when you're spending that time, like for instance, you putting yourself in the bathroom and being in there, you weren't going, oh my gosh, God, I'm looking terrible. Look at me. You're sending a message to your nervous system or to your brain that then sends a message to your nervous system that things aren't right, right? So if you're having those ill feelings towards yourself and touching yourself, then that's going to land in not so much a healthy way, but if you're doing it with intention and self-acceptance and loving and spending that time with yourself, it's different. It feels different. Even just saying it, it feels different.
Yes, it feels very different. And what also I see from my experience working with the students and clients, first, we not really have this culture of we always overwhelmed with compare ourselves with someone else, and especially with all the social media right now, pressure. And also when I became mom first time, and I start to follow some different mom's accounts, and you can see someone had 4 kids and they are all in white and she looks perfect, and you just have 1 child, you all over around messy, didn't sleep, and you're like, oh my God, it's created double stress. I'm just like unfollow.
Yeah. But also what I wanted to touch on, sorry to interrupt, Olga, was what you said about how with the genetics and how we have these beliefs that are passed down from our parents that, oh, well, my mum had hooded eyes, so therefore I'm going to have hooded eyes too. So then that's telling you that there is nothing that you can do to change that, right? So it's like this negative kind of acceptance of, right?
And
So
sometimes it's
you're up
even
against that too.
yeah, and sometimes even like blaming of my, you know, mom or grandmom or dad or whatever, or it's just like, this is what I do. But basically 30% is genetics and 70% this is what we are responsible and we can look after and change. Because it is every single time I hear, oh yes, I have the same lines, I have the same frowns, I have like losing the jawline. Yeah, we unconsciously copy our parents. Doesn't matter what kind of relationship we do have with them. it is same for our kids. Yes, we are the main role model, and they unconsciously copy what we are doing. And you can tell them hundreds of times, oh, it's better to go and read a book. But if you are in a phone, they will actually copy your
Yeah.
habits.
Monkey
And
see, monkey do.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. And same with, I had a lot of clients who was booking their daughters, young daughters with me, because they wanted me to educate and give, because when you come for sub session, you have a very deep assessment. So where we look from the toes to the top of your head, habits and everything, because face is just like reflection of all other connections. And they were like, oh, I'm so worried if my young daughter in 18s will start to do the Botox. I'm like, actually, she probably will, because you are actually doing it. And
Yeah.
and I also have other examples when my clients or students switch to the mode of different self-care movements, touch, and their little daughters, even the tiny, like 2 years old and older, they just create a new family rituals, like girls' rituals. What is the healthy one? And can you imagine if you are from the age, I don't know, 15, 14, especially like you, when in teenager, you get in this settings and these habits, it's actually so beneficial, because if I would know in my 18,
Yeah.
yes, because in the 18s, even in teenager, because my posture was very rounded, I was very not confident. And this is like in my 20s, I had started to lose the jawline and I had this wooden eyes because of everything, and also the
Yeah.
confidence. And if I would know that I can, through the body, change that, because when you work with the body, you change the energy as well. You change how you feel, and people around also reading unconsciously the signals from our
Yeah.
body.
Yeah.
Because the stress and lifted up shoulders. So if I would sit
Yeah.
with that, you will read the signals. So she's probably stressed. She's like overwhelmed.
Yeah. So there's so much noise in the skincare and beauty industry right now. What do you feel people are getting wrong when it comes to caring for their skin?
So skin is the very top layer of the face. And basically skin has nothing to do with aging. Absolutely nothing. So it is basically, can you imagine if you have pie and skin is just like a glaze, top layer. And if something under the glaze will start to be crumble, shorten, and the glaze will show breaks.
Yeah.
And same about the wrinkles, for example. I sometimes from time to time test my audience on the social media, and I can ask, okay, what is the skin concerns do you have? And people start to reply, I have wrinkles, I have saggy neck, or I'm losing jawline. So all the association, what is happening in the face, is going to the skin. But concerns about the skin, they can be, or it's dry, it's oily, I have some breakouts. So this is going to the skin. But everything what people usually say, it's coming under the layers. It's coming to the
Yeah.
muscles, it's coming to the fascia, it's coming to the bones. And so that's where the marketing taking
Yeah.
over and saying, oh my God, this is 10 magic creams. You need to buy absolutely all of them.
It's so true. That makes complete and utter sense to me that it starts from within. I mean, that is my approach, that inside out approach, that so often we're doing everything topically, but it's actually going on beneath the layers.
Yes, absolutely
Yeah.
beneath the layers. And so that's why, honestly, you can have one beautiful product, one moisturizer, balm, whatever, what you just love to use is like clean, organic, something. That's it. And yes, you
Yeah.
can do sometimes when you're going outside and you're going to be on the sun, the good sunscreen, but it's also sunscreen, not forever, not everyday story, because especially if you're inside the house, what the point? But the main things, skin getting healthy and glowy and plump when all under that skin works perfectly. And the main anti-aging component is our own blood. So blood is, you know that when we need to check and find out how is actually our body is coping, blood, the best test. Yes. But basically, when we come into the face, we need to body overall. We need to have circulation coming everywhere, because blood will bring the oxygen, blood will bring nutritions, blood will clean and drain. I also don't love to separate lymph system from other systems, because it's also the another overwhelming with lymphatic drain massages, because everything coming, muscles do the job, muscles work. And all around the muscles, we have fascia.
Yeah. So can you explain the fascia for people that don't understand it? Because how I understand it, it is like underneath the chicken skin, that connective tissue underneath the chicken skin. So just so people can get the visual. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, when you cut meat, you can see this like tissue, tiny one, white, what is like stretching and moving in the different direction.
When you're stuffing a chicken.
Yeah.
Not a cooked chicken, a raw chicken. Yeah. Sorry for the vegetarians.
Yes. Yeah. But yes, we have meat inside our body as well. And basically, we are one big muscle divided by fascia for 620 pockets. And it is muscles divided. So the fascia is separate each muscle. So that's why when you train your body, you can create the shape, because fascia is going to hold the shape. But at the same time, this one muscle, what is separated through the connection, connected with other muscles. And we have 6 different fascia chains, and these chains is also connected in between each other. So like basically everything, like your big toe on the right feet is going to be connected with your throat. Yes, through the deep fascia chain. And your thumb is going connected with your jaw through the arm fascia chain. So basically, that's why everything what you do somewhere in a body is going to have reaction in another part of the body. And so if we come into the quick fixes part, for some reason, it's another thing that people think that face some kind of isolated from the body. And they can be very active, do very right stuff for the body, movements, massages, nutrition, everything. But for some reason, they go and do absolutely different opposite stuff to the face. They inject it, immobilize it, like reduce their muscle activity. Yes. And thinking, if you reduce muscle activity, you reduce amount of the blood what can come. And you also reduce the lymph outcome, because muscles pump the lymph. And you probably noticed that people who, for example, inject the foreheads, they sometimes have shiny foreheads.
Yeah.
Yes. So why? Because basically muscles stop to do the job on the forehead. And skin become the oily, because cleansing basically not happening from inside.
Interesting.
Yes.
So you talk about tension in the face and how that tension can effectively pull everything down over time. So can you walk us through a simple lifting technique or a mini facelift hack now that listeners could try at home? I noticed that you did that one where the eye lift. I sent that to a friend. That's interesting. And it's effective. Like instantly you can see the results.
Yes. So it is very effective. Let's talk about the eyes. Yes. Because eyes is reflection of our soul. And a lot of people have hooded eyes or back under eyes, and eyes, basically they located between 2 fascia chains, the back fascia chain, what going all over from your eyebrows back through your neck, back, hips, and go down to the feet. And the front fascia chain, what is actually going in the front through your tummy down. And when any disbalance is happening in between 2 of them, usually our back fascia chain getting stretchier. And so that's why the eyebrows going down. Because basically the tension what we developed in our neck, upper back is push eyebrows down. In the front, 90% of the people now have the jaw tension, jaw getting shortened, and also pull eyebrows down. So eyes start to be under pressure. And with years, and people think, oh, it's just like age. It's not aging, it is tension. I always look at the changes in the eyes. If we have changes in the eyes, we've done a great job. Or if you're doing self-practice, you've done a great job. Yes.
Because often people think, oh, well, I'm tired. I didn't have a good night's sleep last night. That's why I'm looking so terrible. It's because I'm tired. But when you're tired, you're more susceptible to stress as well.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
not just tired. It's just, it becomes this pattern.
Yeah, it becomes this pattern because when you're also tired, you close your body, you building up more tension, you just like don't have a power. And also when energetically something happening in our life, we also close up. We build up the tension. We start to protect ourselves. So we go into the protection mode. So that's why it's also will impact on the appearance. This face up work, it's not a woo-woo at all. But of course, I learn a lot about the energy as well. And plus a lot about anatomy and how all that and somatically all connect together. So when you change, like you even can test, sometimes you feel like heavy and you close your shoulders and you feel the heavy energy. But if you will go and do the right nice movements and open up your shoulders and sit down in a different way, your energy is also lifting with the right movements and walk with your face and with your body and with the intentional touch, intentional work, you can shift your energy.
Yeah.
Yes. And so coming to the technique about the eyes lifting, the easiest one, if you will go to the temporal, this might the very, very first to go. And you can pinch a little bit the skin and just roll it out. Yeah.
Because I don't have much skin there. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, because temporal muscle and jaw. So this is our jaw and this is our temporal. Temporal work together with the jaw. And when you release temporal muscle, your eyes will just give a right release.
So you're rolling upwards.
Like you roll and you just like step and
the
step.
Skin from sort of the top of your cheekbone where your temples are.
Yeah, from the cheekbone and up all the way, to the hairline, if it's possible. Yeah.
Oh, it feels nice too. You can feel the connectiveness. I can feel how tight I am actually. It's pulling across my head that way.
Yeah,
you
and
can
another
see?
thing, I can see. And another thing, what we can do, we can just put the hands above our fingers above the eyebrows and just brush with the nice pressure towards the top of the head. Yeah, like it's extremely simple, but it will give you in the moment release and brightness.
And do you need oil to do this or just your own hands and natural?
Just your own hands and natural. Like I love if in the morning I personally can have the drop of the oil more for sensation. I use the oils what have in intentions and different scents. I feel okay today I need a little bit more kindness or like courage, and but you can use your favorite, just tiny drop and more warm up the hands and just apply and spread all around. So we don't need a lot of oil because we need connection. People who come, for example, the sculpting sessions, if you come and feel heaps of oil during your session, you are not going to be sculpted. Because it's going to be just slide off. It's going to be facial. It's going to be the product, but it's not going to be the sculpting. Because when we do the sculpting and deep touch, or when you come to face up sessions, we are going in all your layers. We go in basically to reach up your skull, your bones. It's a very deep touch. And this is where we need a very good grip and connection. It's not superficial. So very, very deep release. And it's not painful.
Even just doing that exercise then, just that tiny little minute that we did it, I can feel the blood flow.
Yeah.
Like it's tingly through here.
Yeah. And you can feel that your eyes feels much more open and lighter. Another for the lightness exercise, because we pay a lot of attention to our neck. Neck is a part of our body what not really treated nicely. But if you will look at yourself or like to someone, neck is where sits our head, our skull, brains, our face. And through the neck, we have coming hips amount of circulation, coming back to the blood, hips amount of circulation. And when we are living our life, and this is very narrow part of our body, and we experience all the stress, tension, we start to raise our shoulders, we change the posture. And so neck experience a lot of pressure and heaps of tension. And so that's why vessels inside the muscles inside the neck, they get like smaller. They're not, yes, they not can pump everything what you need. And so that's why people experience and brain fog and tiredness. You awake in the morning and you're already tired, or especially in afternoon after the, I don't know, half of the office day, sometimes you feel like, oh my God, I just need another 5 cups of coffee or like chocolate to go through. And in this case, what I recommend to do, you go into the back side of your neck and squeeze your neck with one hand, and you move the tissues to one side with a nice punch. So like you in the neck curve before your hairline. And then you change the hand and go to another squeeze and move all the tissues on the side. This will give you 30 seconds of your neck love, will give you good 4 hours, because you release the tension. Because on the back side of the neck, it's a lot of like vessels coming towards the feed our brains and feed our
And
head.
it feels so nice. And it doesn't take much just to do that, does it? I want to keep going.
Yeah, you can keep going.
But, you know, often we just pay so much attention to our face, like you said, but a lot of the stress that we hold in our neck and our shoulders and our jaw is blocking the blood flow to the rest of the body. That makes complete sense to me. And often we just put up with this stiffness for so long. And then we overcompensate with, like you said, more coffee, more chocolate, something that's just going to make us instantly feel better. But just doing
like hunting for the energy. We like need this energy. We don't have energy to live our life and do everything what we want to do, because our body build up so much tension, like incredible amount of the tension. And to hold the tension, our body spent a lot of energy. And once the tension is released, this is where you suddenly have the booster. You have the booster to live a life. You have the booster to do some exercises for yourself, because every time when I have clients or students to come in and they're like, oh no, I'm so busy. I'm just like, I cannot do anything. And after a couple sessions or doing FACEUP club, because I have online self-practice club for posture and face, they start to feel more space and alive, because basically they releasing the tension and free up the energy to live the life, to enjoy. Because a lot of people have projects, we have a lot of like wish and everything, but we don't have energy. And
it's like that sense, what I'm feeling when you're saying that is allow. It's like we're really allowing ourselves to release and connect. And that's what I love with your philosophy, Olga, because I've explored quite a few different people in this space. But what I loved is how you relate the nervous system and the emotional aspect. It's not just, okay, let's just go for it and release this and release that, and then we're going to look beautiful. It's so much more than that. And for me, it felt like the sense of allowing ourselves, giving ourselves permission.
Allowing ourselves basically to live the full life. Like recently, one of my students, she texted me why she decided to do the training, FACEUP training, professional one. She's like, I explore a lot of different modalities, but she's like, what the point to spend money to train, massage someone's cheeks? It's like not going to change inside and out. And it's always need to be with intention.
Yeah.
Also, it's a lot of like modalities popular now, and probably you saw on social media currently, especially around the jaw treatment. It's such a intense stories are happening
Yeah,
and
so
going on.
let's talk about that because I had that down as a topic to talk about. We're hearing so much about jaw tension and the release of TMJ. So, how does a chronically tight jaw influence? But also, I wanted to talk about the the amount of videos that I've seen on social media on this jaw release technique. Sometimes people having strong emotional releases, even like sobbing. What's happening there?
So it can be basically because of the pain they sobbing.
Yeah, because it bloody hurts.
It's a bloody hurts. So
Yeah, yeah.
this is like actually the red flag. If it's painful,
Mm.
you are not getting the release.
Yeah,
If
because to me that's not safe. That
it's
doesn't
not,
feel like
yeah,
you've got a complete stranger
yes,
getting
if
some elbow in to release.
going inside and just
That's
like
like wah
real
wah. That's
there.
like alert for
Yeah,
me. That I
yeah,
would
yeah,
like run and hide. That would really
yeah.
freak my nervous system.
But you know how the social media influence. If it's not hurts, it doesn't work. Or if
Mm,
I'm not working hard, it doesn't work. Or it's need to be extreme or something, and especially coming
mm,
towards the jaw. So why emotional release is happening? Because jaw, from somatic point of view, it's hold a lot of anger emotion. So it's basically our gate. When we had the talk with Vogue, actually we talked about the jaw, and it's like a goalkeeper, like keeping everything, all emotions. Because I always say like face is basically the filter of our life. Everything,
mm,
because all five senses, what you experience, see, hear, it's coming through the face, and it
mm.
just stays there. And jaw is the strongest muscle and
Yeah.
biggest in the face and strongest in the body. So can you imagine? So it's
Yeah,
very,
I
very,
can because I have a jaw like a pit bull. I always say it. But I'm a very emotional person, but I must have so much more in there because I'm always clenching my jaw in my sleep mostly.
yes, but jaw, coming back to the connections, it is
Mm,
not the solo player, but
mm,
it's a very strong player. And so jaw has a lot of connection through all the chains. It's connected with your, I said, like it's connected with your thumb. Basically, it's connected through all the tension, what you hold in your hands, in your traps. If you are chest breather, yes. So it's also lack of the right diaphragmatic breathing impact on the jaw. It is also related to the pelvis. It's
mm.
another very interesting topic because jaw directly connected with the pelvis. If you will clench your jaw, you will feel tightness down in the body.
Mm.
And so that's why even when you give in the birth, they always say like, keep relaxed your face, because if your face tight, you are not going to relax your pelvis. So it's very interconnected. And
Mm.
usually people go to dentist probably with more the symptoms, because when you clench and grinding and like probably start to ruin the teeth, it's already like symptoms.
Mm.
And
Mm.
going to the dentist, what they can do, they can give the protection for the teeth, but they're not going to sort the problem. They can also offer you to inject jaw, what we not really want to do. I also had one client, she's in her 30s, and she just started, because of the headaches and everything, she just started to inject the jaw. And I asked her, are you ready to inject your jaw till the end of your life? And she's
Yeah.
like, no.
It,
So injection, it is like a painkiller. You are
it's a
not
band
going,
aid.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a band-aid. You're not going to take ibuprofen all your life or something. Like
You want to find out what's going
you're not
on.
find out. Yes, it's same with the jaw. Jaw just taking over. If something disbalance and weaker inside the body,
Mm.
and jaw will just take. For example, if you move, a lot of people now have forwarded head and
Mm.
creating more tension, and you can straight away see how and feel how your jaw getting a little bit more. Plus,
Mm.
emotionally, when we are not saying things, we like swallowing. It's
Yeah.
also come into the jaw, tension around the chin, but also when we not speak up for ourselves, neck, it's all occipital area, backside of the neck where we've just been with you. It's also very interconnected with the jaw. So that's why we need to treat jaw as a whole system. So I also have the jaw courses and for, like I call it, normal people and for the professional. And yes, we treat and we breathe in and we go to diaphragm. So like we walk with all the system and the change what people and the relief what they are having. It's just insane. People struggling with headaches, migraines and everything for ages because of the jaw. When you work with the system, they in ages getting the release. And it's just a different feeling, like you have the freedom inside the body. They come not for the appearance, they come for the quality of the life because it is how it's impact. About the bandage, I had one student recently and she said she started to inject her forehead because of the headaches. After that, she started to experience more jaw pain. So she started inject jaw and tension moved to the neck. So the problem is not disappearing. Our body will always compensate. I always give the example about, because the most injected area is the forehead. Your forehead directly connected with the back side of the neck. It's like basically one team work together. And nowadays our area about the occipital area, the second spine, so tensed because we all have these changes of the computers. Devices, phones and everything. Because of this tension on the back side of your head and neck, you develop in the lines. And when people inject this team, forehead team, the guys who already been overwhelmed, they get in more job because job is not disappearing from the body. And you losing connection. You cannot feel. I recently, someone sent me the reels on Instagram when one girl shared her experience, like why no one said to me when before the Botox, but that I will lose my identity. I cannot express.
Yeah. And then when you can't express, weren't there studies done on that? Not being able to use certain facial expressions limited you from actually feeling the emotion?
Absolutely. Because how, as I said, like face is a filter of our life. Yes. So you see something like some event or like talk about the kids, you actually grumpy.
But you can't show it. You're just surprised all the time.
Yeah, you're just like, and so you cannot make the frown and basically nerve system not sending towards your brains that actually I am right now very grumpy. And sometimes people cannot cry or like they cry, but just like tears coming, but they cannot fully express emotions. We can see a lot of celebrities and Hollywood world, how people look like 20 years ago and how now, how the emotions different. I'm like, I adore Meryl Streep. I just like love all your expressions and mimic. And can you imagine her without that?
Yeah.
It's going to be wiped.
And also, like you said, just not having, when you're limited and how much you can move your face and express, then that's limiting the blood flow to those areas as well, which will then in turn contribute to aging quicker.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, it will contribute to aging. How it's going to contribute? Because first, our blood have limited delivery towards our skin, towards our muscles, towards our soft tissues, fat pads, because also when we age, we all will fight for the volume. We want to have the volume of our face, not the puffiness, but the volume, the healthy volume. Also, our bones, our skull, getting food and all nutritions and everything from the blood. And skull, what is usually people not really think about, it is the basement. This is basement of our face. And this is where we all start. Yes. And all the soft tissues just sits on the skull. And if talk about the women, coming to menopause, we will start to lose the volume in our bones. So if you will look and think about the elder people, they all a little bit like shrink and body shrink and everything. So we lose this elasticity, we lose the volume. And for people who like was sitting for a long time on the quick fixes, it's going to be just a dramatic change. I had a lot of clients come in because when you come in towards the menopause, it's also the mindset changed as well. I definitely in my 40s, I feel I'm never been about the appearance a lot. And I always say to my husband, everything what I do with me, I'm not doing for you, I'm doing just for myself. And I'm like, don't care. I just want to feel good. And when you feel free in your face and your body, it does mean your blood brings everything much more, your fascia hydrated, mobile, that more volume and food and all the nutritions we are getting inside on our face. And so
it's like an ecosystem. You need all parts moving effectively to get the best outcome. And like you said, there are so many seasons in a woman's life. So how would you say our face can change through our 20s and 30s and motherhood and postnatal years and perimenopause and menopause?
I love to work with the old generations, and my youngest client was probably like 14, but maybe my son, to be honest, he's 9, and I do sometimes jaw release for him because he starts to change posture, not in a right way. And my eldest client, it's probably around 80, and you can see what is actually happening. The common thing for 20s, it's a lot of pressure, expectations. It's a lot of social pressure, and you still not figure out who you are. And plus you're trying to be the best, a lot of expectation on yourself. And that's build up a lot of tension around the jaw, plus all the habits, because when I've been 20, I didn't have my phones and all the gadgets. So like posture was not affected. And now sometimes girls like very rolled with shoulders, they not even stretch their hands because of these phones and everything. And they develop such an insane tension around the jaw. And yes, they don't have lines.
And I would imagine their eyes too, Olga, because you spoke about that in the beginning, and we spoke about that, I think, before we started recording, about this tension in the eyes. And when we're laser focused and squinting at something, that would be switching on all the muscles around the eye as well.
Yes. And
which can aid you in a way if you're not actively aware and being able to relax them.
Yeah, this is basically make your eyes smaller, but eyes is also very interconnected with the second spine. So it's a lot of nerves to the eyes coming through the neck. And basically our neck is following our eyes. And when you even driving, you forward your head a little bit and your neck will follow. And with 20s years generation girls, when you put hands under their neck and they start to blink like dramatically because of this tension coming towards, and you can see how during the session this tension start to melt and their eyes just like calming down and finally have a rest. That's why in 20s it's very cool and amazing if they will able to learn more how actually changes. I don't like even like aging, like how the changes are happening in the different seasons and understand the basics, how body works, because appearance means a lot for them as well. And they now overwhelmed, or probably I need to do like prevention injections and everything. So, and I said once that we actually go in 10 years to see very fast aging generation because they started to do all this toxics much earlier than the previous generation. And so it's pretty sad. And if coming to the 30s, so from emotional part, you start to be more already aware and connected with yourself. So you actually know more who you are and what you want, and maybe less care about other people's opinion. And in 30s, usually we are stepping into the motherhood. So this is the huge another hormone changes, sleepless nights, pelvis, if you're pregnant, breastfeeding. So it's a dramatic change in all levels, in all chains. And so this is where it starts jawline start to disappear because of this tension and trauma probably sitting inside the tummy, cesarean sections. It also will influence the face. Heaviness, puffiness, more jaw tightness because you're just tired. I've been there as well with my second child. My afternoon coffee and chocolate was just like an essential to go till the end of the day. And it was not because I have a sweet tooth, because it was my booster of my energy.
Yeah.
I have a lot of young moms come in with that. And when we switch towards the right habits, to a little bit different touch and self-connection and self-love, they change dramatically. And they also have these moments for themselves, what is crucial important, because everything starts with you. If coming to the 40s, I love, personally, I love this season.
Yeah.
Because in the most of the cases, I want to believe that you are very self-confident and you absolutely don't care and you're following your path. But at the same time, we're stepping into the menopause slowly, and it's another season. And this is what I noticed, and especially with my clients, they just change everything what they do. And especially because in 20s and 30s, thinking, oh, it's something like far away, my body's still, I guess you do like the different stuff and yucky stuff, and your body just like cope, you're fine. But in 40s, you can see that actually body already not so quickly recovering. And if you, for example, had an alcohol, you can see that how it's impact on your like 3 days. And last
And you
year,
have like less tolerance to
yes,
everything.
less tolerance. And you just like you see, like, yes, I need a quality sleep, I need the movements, da. And so this is where they come and look at their appearance from the different angle, like the holistic way that truly look after themselves differently. It's like an awakening.
Yeah, it's almost like you don't want to look ridiculous as well. People that may have dabbled with a bit of Botox or done a little bit of filler or maybe just explored different treatments like that or options. But yes, I think you hit in your 40s, you're sort of less inclined to show a lot of skin. Those skirts might be a little bit longer than what they were in your 30s. So we make these subtle changes without even realizing it. But I think it's true. You want to start to not look young for your age. You want to look good for your age, and you want to feel good for your age as well.
Yeah. I think it's all about the feeling and this like true love and care. It's coming. But again, it depends where and what is happening in the life. Because if I recently had a student, she had 5 kids and business, and when she came for FACEUP training, it was insane amount tension on her face, like just an insane. And we had a lot of tears, not from the pain, but from all the emotions and release. And honestly, I love to work with faces, because for some, it's probably like a shortcut, because through the fascia connections, all the fascia chains come towards the face, and a lot of nerves, and plus it's very close to our brains and all the 5 senses. It's a privilege to work with face when you touch it in the right way, with the love and everything, without pain, and releasing the joint and fluid, neck, and drain everything. We have a different, way of emotions coming out. And so that's why sometimes people think, oh, it's like a woo. It's not a woo. It's just like this is how our body holds everything and tense and react and protect. And face, it is the first. You cannot hide the face. And so in her story, she texted me like 1 week later, that first time in her life, she realized how much she was put everyone first, like everyone, family, friends, business, everything, but not herself, and put herself in a very dark corner. And first time she started to be aware of that, and her changes just dramatic in appearance after just 2.5 days of training. But you need to be ready and wanted to have these changes, because sometimes people do a lot of actions because they want to pretend that they want to change.
Well, maybe what's driving it is pure vanity as well. Women are like, oh gosh, how can I just take 10 years off and let's do a quick fix and I might do this course, rather than a different reframe on that self-connection piece.
Yeah.
I think it sounds like the most important factor because, and I know you've spoken about this before. You often say that the body needs to trust before it can let go. So can you elaborate on what you mean by that exactly? And I think this speaks to what you were just talking about. To
Yeah.
see those changes is that self-connection and perhaps trusting the process.
Yes, trust in the process. And also you need to be in a safe place.
Mm.
So you need to be, and that's why if coming back to the treatments with a lot of pain and tears, your body in this moment fighting. It's
Mm.
not let it go. It's like it can, you, you can push hard and you can push harder. And a lot of even body treatments, body massage, like lymphatic drain massages, it's like it's so extremely painful. When it's pain, the body will tense. It will
Yeah.
hold more. Your
You hold on more.
you hold on more, your cortisol just like jumps super extreme
Yeah.
high. And probably even your body like giving up because it's like, it's just cannot fight back. It's so sore. And that's why when people like really like remove the fingers from your mouth after the joint, you're gonna cry. Of course, it just was painful.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like, oh my God, finally it's finished. But the pain, the tension, what you hold, it will come back like in a couple days straight away because problem not sorted. What is happening with FACEUP treatments when you come, practitioners basically hold the space for you. I work a lot with professionals, so like my training is very different. We learn in absolutely different approach to hold the space, create the safe environment. And when you come and you feel this vibe from professional, we talked recently with one of my students that you need to be ready to be an empty container as professional as well, to take over emotions what are going to happen. And when you step in and you touch, I think another important thing that connection woman to woman, because it's a mother touch, grandmother touch.
Feminine energy.
Right,
Yeah.
feminine energy is very important. And when you come and you lying down and another strong, caring woman touching you, holding the space, because
Yeah.
a lot of times we hear the feedback like no one touched me this way ever. You just like feel and you melt and you trust. And
And
this
some people would have an aversion to being touched. I know some people that don't like having massages. They're just like, no, not in a million years. I just don't like massages. So for some people, it's a real trust issue. So have you had people come in that got the walls up straight away? How do you help people past that?
I had one interesting, it was male client, and his wife brought him to my session. And the first thing when he opened the door, and he's very, very wealthy and well known. And when he opened the door, he's like, I actually hate when someone touch my face. I'm like, welcome. This is exactly what I am going to do. Because people have maybe the stories or something and no one touched their faces and faces need to be touched. And so when he had his first session and he became the most regular client and he always wanted to make sure that he has my early morning appointment because he wants to get my fresh energy, because people not realize how much tension they have. And also if around the neck is our trust point and trust and control. And sometimes when you go to the neck and you start to massage and go like, because you're going pretty deep in the tissues, people start to cough. It's also protection. Or something is happening, or like, yes,
Or can't speak up,
can't
or
speak up. Yeah,
yes.
it gets a lot of like holding back yourself, and sometimes they start to cough or like drinking water. I usually trick the brains. I start to talk with them, just like to
Make
interrupt,
them relax.
make them relax, like in a different way. Usually we don't talk on the sessions, but when we need to actually play the game with the brains, we will do. When they start to trust me, they trust the process, because sometimes FaceUp is very different treatment, and it's not a sculpting, it's not a classical facial, it's complex, a lot of different modalities, like a puzzle what we are, and it's very customized. And that's why we're finding out the way how to make this connection and the trust. And when we trust and when you feel safe, you are going release this tension, because sometimes you can have a lot of talk and therapy, but through the body you can release emotions and situations much quicker. Recently was feedback from one of my students. She cancer survivor, so she had a lot huge story in her life, and she had different type of the therapy. And when you also talk on the therapy, your body again going through all this trauma again and again. But when it came to the FACEUP, she's been a client and she had 6 sessions, and she's like, it was the best therapy I ever had. She felt much more healed and connected and changed.
Because the body, it's so true. It's so important to combine, not just talk. You might find that some people want to talk it out when they're on the table, right? But your body holds on to the emotion. And so you can talk about it. And our mind is very clever at avoiding where the pain is. And, we'll only open up as much as we would like to open up with somebody. But the body, when you combine the both of them together, it's really powerful stuff.
I love the therapy as well. I also had a talking classical therapy in my life. Same. And it's like
there's a place for that.
Yeah, it's a place, and I also had a different energy practice and experience. I also been trained in some energy, but I love to combine. And for some people, it depends what people believe in and trust in and what they are ready to allow happen in their life. And that's why in FACEUP, I love to do everything and go to anatomy, fascia, connections and everything. But at the same time, sometimes it is more somatic and sometimes energy, less than even some physical touch. And you can always play around and you have so much freedom to create. I always call it FACEUP art.
Yeah. So if somebody was to come in and see you for FACEUP, can you walk us through what's involved?
I personally not really take clients by myself, but basically sometimes I do. When you come to professionals to FACEUP, first it's going to be assessment. It's going to be very deep assessment. We will talk about your stress level, emotions. We will look at your posture, your daily habits, your physical activities, your relationship with sugar, maybe water. We have a list of questions. It's going to be much longer and more interested conversation than with your GP probably. And based on that, we will adjust and create your treatment. And after this assessment, you go to the table, and this is where a professional, based on what we want to have. Some people, mostly now we have clients coming for this emotional stress release, calming nerve system, jaw tension, jaw release. Less coming for the appearance. We have unbeaten changes in appearance for sure. But now we have more clients coming for this connection awareness and for changes inside, for well-being, for life quality changes, and appearance is going to be a bonus. And so usually sessions around 60 minutes. It can be a little bit longer if we will implement inside the mouth or more jaw body connections. It depends. And after the sessions, usually, or on the session, it can be some release happening, or sometimes people, I call it a first date with yourself. Because a lot of people have no idea how much tension they have in their faces. Our face is so overwhelmed with that. And this sudden freedom, this sudden connection of your head, of your face with your body, it's like a surprise. And I usually, compare the tension in the face with frozen butter. And is more it's more years you've been in a freezer with your face.
Yeah.
And a little bit more time we need to melt it. And so coming back again to the pain. And when someone tried to heat this frozen butter and trying to broke out, it's not gonna let it go. It's not gonna melt. But if you will cuddle it,
Gently.
with the warm,
your warm hands melt the butter and the butter becomes pliable.
Yes, and this is where it's actually the magic is happening.
I love that analogy.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. I personally love. I regularly go to my different providers all around the world. I'm lucky now that I can find them almost like in each country. It's always every session. I personally have a lot of takeaways, depending where I am now, what is my state, and what emotions I have, what the heaviness I have. And sometimes, yes, I also have tears on the massage table. And it's a beautiful release. And of course you have glow and you have circulation and you have energy after that and you have a
Yeah, and I think
confidence.
when you feel good, you look good, and when you look good, you feel good. So it's like this healthy loop.
Yeah.
But I wanted to touch on, you speak about practitioner embodiment, and you spoke about that earlier, just that quality of touch and having those assessment skills and presence. Why do these matter so much when working with the face and body with clients?
Because what I actually noticed, and this is again that started with me when I start my own practice, like in a very early stage, my clients had an amazing results. I was very satisfied and everything. But at the end of the week, having like, I don't know, 30, 25 people, I was broken. My body was broken. And a lot of wellness professionals, unfortunately, like 80%, it's a lot of research even now, people who work in the wellness industry, massage therapists, beauty therapists, they actually very overwhelmed and
Burnout.
burnout, like very burnout, because most of them are self-employed. So it's one pressure plus they not using their body in the right way. And so this is where my point of connection has happened. And I was like, it's not okay. So this is where it's need to be changed. And this is where I came basically to the connection of the posture alignments and the movements. I learned the 3D motion, training and about the posture lines and how to basically correct and how the body moves. And so FaceUp, when you look at professional, you cannot really see, but because you are in your zone, it's like a dance because we use all our body. Most of professionals, they just use the hands and when they tense, you can feel their tension. And if you feel someone tension, you are not going to let it go.
And then it's a disconnect if it's just
Yes.
coming from their hand, right?
Yeah. And this is where it can be sore. This is where it can be, you like you have a treatment, but you're not really got what you wanted. So it's also about the longevity in profession. And so that's where I usually start. I work with them to change their personal connection. And in this case, it's the same as a parenting. You need to be the empty container. You need to have resource. As when you work with someone physically, you are taking the energy, you're taking everything from other person. So you need to have capacity to give and
To
hold
hold
the
this
space
space.
and hold the space. But if you are out of your resource and you are broken, you cannot hold the space.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
And
so true. And it's like having the practitioners perform the same movements and yet they can achieve completely different outcomes. And that's
absolutely,
depending on how they show up.
yes, for
Mm.
themselves. For
Yeah.
themselves. So
Yeah.
there's the story, the helping profession. It's not just massage therapists, but like doctors and everyone, like everyone who help other people. They all burn out because
Yeah.
they give so much, but they don't have also time to look after
Yeah.
themselves. And so that's where all like longevity in profession actually finished. I had a lot of students come in, for example, massage therapists in 20 years experience, 25, and they been on the age or they need to stop the practice and they in their 40s because their body cannot just,
Yeah.
they're amazing professionals, like incredible. They
But
do
we
the,
have to fill up our own cup. It's like
yeah,
me as a coach as
yes,
well. I
yes.
can coach and coach and coach, but I get burnt out. So you have to keep learning and evolving and, having growth through different courses or offloading. And you can't just keep doing the
Yes,
same
you
thing
also
over and
need to have
over.
the boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
You need to
Yeah.
have the boundaries with your work, with your clients, with your students. Otherwise, yeah, and people always will checking up your boundaries and unconsciously, not because I'm coming
Yeah.
crazy now and I will just take a little bit more, just tiny, little bit more
Yeah.
bits, like just try. It's unconsciously because especially if they are low themselves, burn out themselves. So this is happening. And if the person is amazing and great, and if you allow to sit down on your shoulders, they will sit down on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, and you will carry everyone and it, but not for a long time. And so you go overwhelmed. And this is where joy is coming intense and you feel tired and burn out and you lose the joy of what are you doing. So it's same like it's like relationship and long life term relationship. And
if we're speaking of the ages of the 30s, 40s, and 50s, I feel like when you get to 50, you do get to that point where you're like, the boundaries are so clear and so strong. You are less tolerant to any bullshit. So that's something great about turning 50. I mean, there's many good things about turning 50, but that's definitely one of them where you are really certain of who you are.
Just like, no, it's fine to say no.
Yeah.
And like, whatever.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
like, without the explanation of the reasons, it's just like, no.
Yeah. I wanted to touch on when it comes to facial massage tools, there are a lot on the market from gua sha, rollers, cups, and various mechanical devices. Are our hands more effective than some of these tools, would you say? Or do they offer something different when used correctly?
My short answer is going to be yes, your hands is more effective. And because another thing, we love to put responsibility on the tool, on the cream, on something else, of course it's better than nothing. Even like through the gua sha, you give the touch, but with your own hands, if you will use your own knuckles, this is your gua sha. You don't need
there's like little nerve receptors in our fingers, right?
Yes.
So I would imagine.
Because through the gua sha, you cannot feel, actually, over there in this point, it's something different from that. And probably with my fingers, I need to stay a little bit longer. Plus our fingers very soft, and this is our fingers, and they very warm and nice, and you have the direct connection. And also, we've come into the tools like all this rollers, what people use for the lymph drain, and they drain their cheeks and jawline towards the ears, but their neck so tight, and it's going to be very temporary effect and solution. So because you push the lymph with the hand, same with lymphatic massage, you just push, but the door of drain through the neck is closed, and all the fluid will come back basically straight away. It's like a Cinderella effect. You go into the event, you push your fluid, and at 12 a.m.
and then it all caves in.
Yes. Sometimes it's like, I will pay this money for this tool. I'm like, I'm gonna use it but we are not going to use it. And I've been in even in bathrooms of my girlfriends sometimes, and you can see like the shelves.
It's like serums.
Like serums and cups and everything. And just like, do you have like 4 hours in a day to just use all this like trays of everything? And she's like,
I mean, we're all so guilty of it, aren't we? Why have we got such an aversion to aging? Why do you think?
I think it's also a lot of pressure from outside about the aging, and like we all know the beauty industry is number 3, I think, about the income. And because when you make people scared of changes, and you give them example, this is how you should look like in your age, and you like compare them like, actually, oh my God.
And then you panic buy.
And then
you're like, shit.
Okay, so what this all that? Okay, Jennifer Lopez, okay, what she's doing.
They're using it.
Like,
my friend's got it.
I need to order. And like,
her skin's good.
Her skin's good. And you just like, but also we all have the different start point, and we have the different life. We have a different genes. We come in from all the different races. And for example, like Asian type, they just age absolutely in a different way. You sometimes in their 60, 70, you cannot guess actually, because they have a different skull. They have more collagen production from the nature, like them. And European type of the faces is very different. So I think it's all created by this marketing, because people basically need to make business. And
of course.
In every year, I don't know, dramatic amount of the different products. I'm just like, I cannot track on a lot of them, that it promises and promises and promises, because also it's based on we are not educated about our body, and we not thinking that our face is a part of the system. And
Yeah, we're outward seeking
yes,
when the
and
solution is inside of us.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And you look at your like line and think, oh, this is problem just like with my forehead, but it's not problem with the forehead. So like we need to go deeper. And it's also the, I don't know, it's a little bit toxic, even word now, aging. And so it's not an aging is happening, it's tension is happening. And all this internal not acceptance of yourself, compare with other people, or why she's like that, why she's like, and this is create more tension and build up more tension. And again, you're spending more and more and more. I do remember
Yeah.
myself when I was in this like motherhood situation and everything. I was also went and bought like heaps of these products, and I was so overwhelmed. Oh, probably, oh my God, I missed my eye serum, and oh my, I'm going to age
Yeah.
now. I'm start to develop my lines, but it is absolutely not. And so from my point of view, that everyone, doesn't matter what profession you are, we all have in our life basically just one body, and this is everything what we have. Without body, you cannot be partner, you cannot be mom, you cannot do your business or like do your career and do the friendship and everything, because when the body off, everything is off. Doesn't matter how much money do you have. Absolutely doesn't matter. And so that's
Yeah.
why you can see the huge trend now about in all millennial and billionaire stage where they all coming towards the longevity, looking after themselves. And because I had clients from like single moms and to billionaires, it's interesting to see that they understand that the body is it is a set. So
Yeah.
this is it's non-negotiable treatment, like with me for them. It's in the calendar. Body movements, it is in the calendar. Non-negotiable to start the morning with the body, because they know that what we can do for our longevity, it is not expensive and it's for free.
Yeah.
Go outdoor.
If you could reframe it, Olga, if you could reframe that message around aging, what would you want every woman to know regarding your philosophy?
I would love them to know that the face is the reflection of inside and out. You need just educate a little bit and understand that everything what happening on the face, it's have the reason. And in this case, it's going to be very hard to be influenced, because you will start to have this critical thinking. Or actually, this is not sounds logical. And I also think you need to enjoy, and I always say, like, go to the mirror in the state where you are right now. I don't remember the name of the movie, but it was Emma Thompson when she was standing naked in the mirror and just like looking at herself. And I don't know, our body does an amazing job for us.
Yeah.
And it's love us unconditionally. And so we need to turn back to the body as well. So, and be grateful in the stage where you are right now, and say, go and cuddle yourself and say like, oh my God, thank you so much that everything what we came through, and you still moving. You do.
Oh, it makes me want to give myself a big
Yeah.
cuddle. I've been journaling a lot, and I've been finding so much power in journaling, and through the journaling, I've realized how much self-compassion that I'm learning to have more of. We are often hard on ourselves by not so much the negative talk, but just ignoring our needs.
Yes.
So I think it's time to change the narrative and focus on ourselves in a different way. And as mothers, like you said, right back at the very beginning of the conversation, we have a child, and it just blows your world apart, because it's not about us anymore. And it's natural that of course, we're going to put our children first before we put us. It's our job to keep them alive. But it's so important to connect with ourselves, and in the work that you do in teaching people this, I think it's really important.
Yeah. But you do remember this, like how in a airplanes, they said like put the oxygen mask on yourself
Yes.
first. So that's why for me, basically, my morning with myself is non-negotiable. So like, yes, I need to wake up earlier than my kids, but in this case, I feel myself okay. I've done me. I feel good. I'm ready to give, and also my nature. I give a
Yeah.
lot to my
You
students,
give
clients.
differently
Yeah,
then. Yeah.
I give differently. And so coming back to this, our mirror reflection. And so like accept, truly accept, like, and ask like, okay, my beautiful body and my beautiful face, what I can do for you and how I can carry about you, because it's only relationship in your life, what you have from very beginning till the end. It's not your,
And if you think about it, when we're like 80, we'll be thinking, damn, I was pretty hot when I was 40. What was I thinking? You know?
yeah, it's just
So
like, oh my God, look
it's
at you.
important to celebrate all the ages because we are going to be really old and really bloody wrinkly one day.
You
So
know,
we've got to
sometimes
just let go of all that shit that we're carrying now.
I
Yeah.
see this like hot ladies in their 80s, and they are just like so like rocket it. And this is my, goal. This is where I want to go. They just like living and enjoying the life. I have my grandma, she's 92 now. I haven't seen her like for a long time, but she is living independently. She's moving. She's like, she has an interest in her life. And
Mhm.
she recently said, like, could you please, I do my body exercise. Could you please send me something for my face? I'm like, 92.
Love that. She's still going, like, still
Yeah,
focusing on her,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
like, that is
yeah.
wonderful.
When my granddad passed away, and it's a different time of your life because they've been together like 50 years, and
Mm.
she was like behind him anyway, and
Yeah, I understand.
she was caring about the family and me and my mom, and like giving, and this is like suddenly it's a new chapter for
And
him
you
open. And she's
yeah,
like,
at
oh,
92, isn't that
yeah.
fabulous?
Yeah, yeah, but she's
Yeah.
like, yeah, she's already maybe 17 years by herself. She has her girlfriends. They go to some events, but anyways, she's
Mm.
in her life, and she moved. And she always said to me, while I'm moving, I'm alive. So once I will
Yeah,
stop to move. So that's
so
why
true.
movement is crucial important, and we need
Yeah.
to add the movements.
It's like if you envision a dried up river with no water in it or a river that has flow, I mean, you've got to keep moving for it to be vibrant, right? And not
Yes.
dried out.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a privilege to live the different seasons of the life. I'm very curious about what and how I'm going to be and what is going to be my interest when
Mm.
I'm 80. And we talk with my boys because they think, oh, mom, you're going to be like 100 for sure, you know? And also switch my brains, like rewire my brains about the self-care, because when I look at my grandma, like she's 92 and I'm
Mm.
43. So I'm thinking potentially I can live another like 45 years. So it's not even
Mm.
half of my life.
Yeah.
And when
Yeah.
you're thinking from this perspective, you can basically think, okay, but I still gonna have this body. It's not gonna
Mm.
change. And
That's right.
yeah, if I want to carry till my 90, or like as my kids say, to 100, so please, I need to show up now, because everything what I do now, it's like I'm planted the seeds how I'm going to feel in my 50s and my 60s.
Mm.
And
Mm.
so that,
And it's all inside. It all comes from here.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
mindset, it's heart, it's
Yeah, and that's
connection.
why I want to love myself. I want to give the true care. I don't want to froze part of the body, or like just to have a
Mm.
shortcuts. Sometimes I'm like, it's great that we have the traditional medicine. It's amazing. It saves
Yeah.
a lot of lives, but it's not prevention. It's not looking at this body as the whole system. And so that's
Mm.
unfortunately all like lucky. It's just on our shoulders. So another thing what I would recommend to everyone, to take responsibility about their health and about their appearance, or like how they feel, just on your own shoulders, because everything
Mm.
what we have right now in our life, it is just the matter of our past choices, and same related to the body. So if you make a choice to be healthy and everything, you need to do some actions towards that. And the problem is with all like overwhelmed and quick fixes and all the treatments and everything, because it's easier to rely on something, on someone, but it's a lot of beautiful treatments, but you still need to do the actions even to come to these treatments.
But it's also like meditating. It's like you can't just meditate once a week for it to be effective. You have to keep doing it, right? And it's the same with treatments when you go into beauty salons and whatnot. It's the same, but it's like what we're doing at home, those in-betweens of when we are going off and having those treatments or doing things. It's like we can keep the ball rolling.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
It's a choice.
It's a choice. And this is probably why I started to do FACEUP Club for the self-practice, because to be honest, it's like a selfish project. Because it's like I also have responsibility for other people.
This is about you. It's not selfish. You're tending to yourself.
Yeah. But I mean, like, yes, it's, more motivated.
Self-interest.
Self-interest to do it.
Yeah.
And because, yes, you have yourself every single day. You have your hands every single day. You can do a lot even in the tiny space for your body mobility and strength and everything. And because you cannot, like, to go to someone, you need to drive, you need to commit, you need to pay, and And for me, so usually to go to the treatment, it's more about the time, like, you need to organize it's like double time with the traveling and everything, and it's need to be also fitted in some particular hours, and it's whereas every single day finding out 10-15 minutes, you can do so much, because consistency is not intensity.
I was driving to the Southern Highlands the other day. I live in Sydney and my daughter's an equestrian rider, so we travel to the Highlands a couple of times a week. And I know I'm probably not I'm meant to have two hands on the steering wheel the whole time, but I was feeling a bit of tension in my neck. So I was doing a little bit of, just a little. And I really noticed a difference just in that short amount of time, just doing these steps up on either side of my ear, around my jaw. I was doing a bit of sort of releasing here and on my head. And it made a difference. It wasn't long. It was probably 10 minutes. And I was driving. But I know that probably doesn't sound great, but it was safe driving.
Yeah, it was safe driving, and yes. And if you were unlikely to drive in 100,
and I'm a good driver. Yes,
a good driver. but maybe even touch your neck for 30 seconds. It's actually create more safety, because
that's right. I'm less tense. I'm a better driver,
tense, and you're more focused.
No road rage.
Yeah, exactly. So it's always about the the common sense. It's like
of course. But even standing in line somewhere. Even being at the gym this morning, I was waiting to start my session and I was just doing when people say they don't have time, I think that is sometimes an excuse, perhaps a protection, perhaps avoiding. So I think it's important, like you said, to reframe it and stop making excuses. We do have time in our day to make a difference for our well-being.
Yes. It's always like, if you will look at everyone look at the social media or something, how much time you can.
Yeah.
Just
like a vortex.
It's just taking everything. And you're like, oh my God, it's already 30 minutes past. You just like open up to reply one minute, and it's put you everywhere. And it's like I still like try and always, and especially when you have business and social media is a part of the business, and this is for me personally the hardest boundaries. And another thing, like recently I tried it. I have very low tolerance to everything fake, like lashes and everything. And last year I've done the hair extension, and because I had a photo shoot, I'm like, oh my God, and probably like we'll try. And the new hair, it looked beautiful, but the maintenance of it was just like insane.
I remember trying them years ago, but they just feel horrible.
Like you just feel. I can't sleep, and I know from like profession what I'm doing, how it's going to impact. I started to feel straight away more droopy eyes, because it's like the hair, it's aponeurosis, it's part of our face as well. And I hate them. And also the main thing, because I was like, oh my God, I need to spend 30 minutes in the morning just to make them. And I know how much the good stuff I can do in the 30 minutes for my body. And I'm like, no way.
So, Olga, you've trained practitioners all over the world. What do you think people are truly seeking when they come to do your work, the FACEUP method?
For me, it's also very interesting to see what's the request in the different countries. And because I'm started training in New Zealand and Australia, and now I've been in Northern America and London, Europe, and it's interesting. It's of course the cultural thing impact more. Like I had students from Italy, and it's people just living a different life, and the different part of the Italy is going to be the different request. But mostly now they come because they want to help people. It's minor part of the students come for the appearance, for the changes, just for the look. Mostly want to help, to regulate, to stress release, to help with this burnout, and also they at the same time they want to help themselves. Because this is my main approach. Everything starts with you, and they want them to feel good physically. They want again to have the sparkle. I have massage therapists and wellness professional beauty therapists coming for the training, and most of the beauty therapists they stop to do the skin treatments at all. So they completely switch. They like. And I usually I give them a little bit of notice that it can happen because it's dramatically change the way about what is
I feel like
happening.
it's less superficial and there's more depth in what they can offer their clients, right? It's not just, oh, here's all the serums, and that perhaps their clientele just aren't buying into the bullshit advertising anymore. So they feel like that there's a need or a gap that they want more bang for their buck.
The clients come for the touch because, as I said, the main feedback is life-changing experience. No one touched me this way. I had no idea how much tension I hold. It's a lot of release and emotional release on the sessions. They said like that every person on the planet Earth need to experience this release. When as professional, you after the session hear that and see that, and it's like open up your another purpose, your inspiration and connection.
It's
Yeah, I trained some spas or like beauty clinics, and they mostly was focusing all day, like 30 years of experience on the skin. And after having FaceUp and their menu, they start to say that we actually have a now absolutely different connection with our clients, because beforehand, before FaceUp, it was all the talks on the surface. It was just about the skin. But when they had started to offer FaceUp, they went deeper. And deeper, it's mean in all emotions, because they start to hear the stories. They start to hear about the clients and anxiety and joy and what is happening.
So it's like they're unwinding. They're just slowly unwinding in a session, which is the walls are coming down.
Yeah, the walls coming down. The trust is building up. I personally had clients who've been with me from very beginning. It's not even already like a client relationship. It's like a girl date, you come and you just talk and you support each other, and you've been through all different stages, but still I am as professional. Of course, I'm more listening them because they're coming for them and I am helping them. I hand over my studio, and the hardest part was this connection with my clients. It was like the hardest part to let go, but we still, I know, sometimes in touch, and sometimes when the chemicals aligned, and so it's a beautiful.
I love that.
Yeah, important. It's true connection. It's not the faking, because
superficial. That's right.
It's not about like, how are you? I'm good, thank you.
How's the weather's really sunny outside today? Yeah. I know I'm not one of those people. I feel like if I came and had your work, I'd on the table. I'm one of those oversharing type. But
it's good as well for you. I came from another culture, and when, for example, we moved to New Zealand, and everyone was the question like in supermarket, how are you? I'm like, why do you want to know how I am? I personally not like this question, how are you? Because it's everyone expects like, oh yes, I am good, and like it's just like.
So in your culture, how do people greet? They don't say, how are you?
Just hi. And go straight to the point.
It almost feels fake, doesn't it? It's like, hi, how are you? Good, how are you? Like
and this is building up the tension in your face.
Yes.
Because,
oh my
and
gosh, I've
sometimes,
never thought of that.
and sometimes you
Interesting.
think like, oh, I'm so excited to see you, but you want to say, I actually don't want to see, and all this like tension. And sometimes we part of the social, and we need to play the roles. We playing the roles, but like, okay, you had the talk with someone, but then you know how you can go and actually move this tension and everything out, remove all this like fake smile, because when you have the fake smile, this is where the tension comes towards your jaw, towards your lips and chin and everything. And and sometimes when you start to say like and answer the question how you are, and people don't know how to react. And actually I talk, it's not because of even Russian, like European people as well. We have friends, and it's very straightforward. We just like, okay, what's going on? How can I help? Or like, what's happening? And we go straight without all this like play around.
Okay, I'm going to practice that with my next catch up with a girlfriend. I'll be, how are you? And they'll be like, good. And I'll be like, no,
like
actually,
how are you?
How are you? No, tell me what's going on in your life. Like, how are you? Like, really? It's different, isn't it?
And you also can put the hand, and just touch you and like hold space for your friend and like, how are you? Because when I see the clients and they come in and like, how are you? Like, and like, you're good. And then they lie down on the table, and I know that you are actually not okay. And it's a lot going on. And it's also this mask of the tension. And it's
you're right. It feels fake, and there is tension there. And so we ladies listening, we definitely need to go deeper with our conversations for our facial structure as we age.
Like it is not. Of course, you don't want to offload everything. Like
no,
but basically, yes, it's I already used to it. I'm like, how are you? I'm just like, people not really listening the rest of the answer. They just like, oh, okay, and then just like carry on. Sometimes you don't want to smile. I'm just like, today I'm just not feeling. I had one my practitioner work with me, and she used to have Botox before FACEUP, and she said to me it was very convenient to have a Botox because you don't need to pretend. You always have the same good look. And this how you not really require like creating the mask, because it's like you look that you are okay. You look the same all the time.
Interesting. Yes.
So, and sometimes people who stop the do injections and Botox, they don't know, and it's take a lot of time for them to adjust themselves to express emotions. They feel like, oh my God, now people can see that how I am really feel. And it's take a time because I never had that. So that's why for me, it was a very, very different point of view of how they feel. And sometimes they want to come back to this comfort zone to have the mask on the face because it's just convenient.
Yeah. Interesting.
So it's a lot of layers of why.
Oh, I love that we've gone deep into this today. I think it's really important because perhaps people that tuned in may think, oh, this is all from a vanity perspective, but it's so much deeper than that. Before we finish, Olga, I'd love to touch on the FaceUp Club. And it sounds like a community-based platform that you have. Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yes. So it's community. Basically, it's application, what has been designed. I started maybe 2.5 years ago, as I said, from the selfish perspective, because I was needed to be committed as well for my personal practice. And the changes and the transformations what we have inside, it's just insane from inside and out and posture wise. So we basically have around 70% of tutorials there about the posture and the body, because without aligned body, you're not going to have the beautiful aligned face and your jawline and everything.
And it's an online program,
It's an online.
Yeah.
So like basically inside the club now we have every month, we all have the different topics. For example, last month was about the lymph drain, and previous month was about the jaw and pelvis connection. June is about our actually eyes, hooded eyes, and posture and feet, because it's going to be more attention to that, but still we will cover everything. And it's all around 15 minutes, because for me as person who live also the busy life, I more likely are going to commit to 15 minutes. You can just subscribe and have like 1 month or like 3 months, 6 months access. And I also run live practice twice a month over there. They're more advanced and they're longer. So that's why you can combine and choose, and you also have access to the library, and it's always change. So you're not going to be bored there, and you will have your own progress. And the main thing in the purpose, consistency. So that's why I have FACEUP Club, because
it's that accountability piece, right?
10 minutes, 15 minutes, not every day. You can do every day, of course. It's 4 tutorials in a week. So, and in the
that's doable.
It's 1 hour in a week, basically. But it's not, it's better not like to do once a week. It's better to do the small pieces.
For sure.
During the week. It will save a lot of money in investment for other situations. I always like have a joke that probably we need to open up the club of the savings, what we actually have from the double chin reduction and eyelid surgeries. Because it's thousands of dollars, and people commit to it, like to thousands of dollars, and go into.
But it's like going to the gym as well. Like if I'm going to the gym once a fortnight, I'm not going to get the same. So I train 5 days a week and I get results because I put in the time. And so if we're working the muscles on our body and stretching and releasing with yoga or weight training or whatever it may be, the FACEUP method sounds like a similar philosophy. If you want to have toned biceps and legs, or you have to put in the work, it's the same with the face, right? And I think that's where we make the mistake as women. We buy all these topical creams. So we're not putting topical creams on our ass and on our arms and things, hoping for them to get sculpted and or plump or whatever. No, we work them out at the gym, and the FACEUP method's the same.
FACEUP Club is very educational. This is where you learn the basic settings and how body works, and like even just doing the exercise and listening to me during the exercise, you will have more knowledge and understanding how your body works, and build up this like critical thinking before to commit to something.
I've got one last question before I offer my moment of reconnection questions. Looking ahead, where do you see the future of skincare and facial wellness heading?
It's definitely heading towards this wellness and longevity perspective, because for the last year, I had a lot of meetings and interview with magazines and everything, and they come with the question that everyone now don't want to do the quick fixes and questioning the quick fixes approach, and this a lot of layers of the skincare, and the skinimalism is coming to the game. They also mostly ask the questions about how everything connected and why. So I want to believe in it, that we will become more aware and less influenced, probably. I would love to believe so.
More trust in ourselves.
More trusting, more connected, more aware. And it's coming towards this like self-care. I want to believe in this, but the right self-care, not overwhelmed self-care, because we don't need to do a lot. We just need to do the right things to live our life. More people coming towards this connection, real face, real emotions. And it's still going to be the market, and everyone have their personal choice, and sometimes you can be in one team, but then something happening in your body, in your life, and you actually like change your vision and you go into other teams. So that's why I always say I'm never judge. I never like, we can do whatever we want with our body. It's absolutely your personal choice. And from my point of view, like from professional, I always give the education. I'm sharing the logic, how it all works, and what you want to do and what approach is close to you. And maybe you will take something from my vision and my philosophy, what will help to in this current moment in your life. But then probably in 5 years, or in the next 6 months, you will go because we are, evolving. We
Yeah,
evolving a
and we
lot.
like change, and
And you
change
like
is normal,
change.
and people,
Yeah.
and we pivot and we try new things, and we just sort of see where things stick and when the right time is. So, Olga, I've loved this conversation. Before we wrap up, I just want to do a bit of reconnection. What has your body taught to you about yourself?
Right now,
Yeah. In life, what have you learnt from your body?
I learned from my body trust. I learned how important to be together, how important to be and play in one team. And I learned how I taken the signals, the right signals, the intuition from my body, not from my brains.
Hmm.
And my body showed me a lot of times in my life when I've been on the age of burnout. And this is where, and how body can switch off in a moment when you already cannot go further. It's
Yeah.
it's just this is it. And body says like, you can go, but
Overwhelmed.
without me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's my protector. And I'm very loving it and appreciate it. And I try and to care and give a life and give touch and love to my body, not because I have to, because I want to, because we are
Mm.
one team. I love to see and treat my face changes and energy from the body as well, and from my profession. Sometimes I'm like in 30 seconds, read the person. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
you don't need to answer how are you.
Yes, no, that's a big takeaway from
That's
today's
a big
conversation. Lastly, what are your go-to daily rituals you can't live without besides we know that Face Up is going to be a daily ritual, but what are some other daily rituals you can't live without?
Currently, the most delicious moment in the morning, wake up my boys because I
Mm.
travel a lot as well. And this is my delicious go to this like early morning when I can and just like snuggle
Oh,
a
I'm
bit.
so jealous.
Yeah.
Mine are all grown up.
So that's why I know that it's very short
Yeah.
time. And I think this is the most delicious and ritual what I'm waiting for. Sometimes, in the competition with my husband, who is going to be the first in the morning, because you get him the most sweetest part.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's give me this like, the
Yeah, I know. I
delicious.
remember it
Yeah.
so well. I love that. What a beautiful, beautiful
Yeah.
ritual.
And I know that
Oh,
it's not gonna last forever, so
no.
I need to take the most now.
Yes. One's turning 22 today and the other one's
Oh.
turning 20 in a couple of weeks. So, yeah, not as much some of those cuddles. Me jumping in their bed is kind of weird now. So, so I just get it where I can. I take whatever scraps that I can. But Olga, I have loved, loved, loved this conversation today. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. What I take away from this conversation is that our face is not separate from the rest of us. It reflects how we move, how we feel, how we hold stress, and how we care for ourselves. Perhaps healthy aging is less about fixing and more about reconnection. Before we finish, where can people find you and learn more about your work and explore your Face Up courses?
Just thank you so much. It was the most beautiful conversation we have, and I think we touched so much different topics from the different angles. What is absolutely amazing, and I hope listeners will find and self-reflection in some topics and takeaways for them as well. Thank you so much. And the best probably to find me on the social media on Instagram. I'm Olga lowercase FACEUP. Through there, you can navigate yourself to the maybe professional training or self-practice and read more articles on our media page from the different topics and perspectives what you are interested in.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you so much.